Maybe lower your camera a little bit. Good morning, comrades. You are listening to WHIVLP New Orleans. This is your weekly Good Morning Comrade, Jeff and Robert, here on the show with you. Robert, how you doing, brother?
Not great. I mean, the world's in turmoil. Mental health isn't good. Watching the fall of the American Empire in
It's
real
so
time
stupid.
is great. Like I don't know why I'm mad now. This is only the moment that I've prayed for all my life. Is the fall, at least all my adult life, is the fall of the American Empire, and we're finally getting it. But it just feels like not enough people are aware. It feels like somebody described it. Somebody smarter than me described it as like this. What it felt like if you were terminally online before COVID hit. This is what it feels like. Like if you're just walking around going, these people have no idea what's going on, and they're about to see it. Apparently, the last bit of oil from the Strait of Hormuz is supposed to run out. I think today was the last day, today or tomorrow, to where like we're not getting any more in the United States. Asia's not getting any more unless they're cutting side deals. And like the idea of in America of, a minimum of $4 a gallon gas, we're gonna wish for those days in a month from now.
You want to know how bad it is?
$4.
You want to know how bad it is? I'm on assignment in Lansing, right, for work, and the only car that was available at the rental car place was a freaking Mustang.
Wow.
So I'm driving around in a Mustang because of the gas, because of the price of gas. Probably, right?
Like, no, I don't think so. I don't want to steal your thunder, but it's like maybe it's just a busy weekend because I mean, most people don't care if they're renting a car, they don't really. Well, maybe you're right. I don't think so.
From the airport though, that may be a little bit different.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, I've gotten that before too, where it's like I was supposed to get a Kia shoebox, and they put me in a BMW Roadster. It's just because they don't have any cars left. I've had that.
We'll say I don't mind. I don't mind it. It's a sweet ride.
I do. New Mustangs suck. You're not small. You're tallish. So it's like, how is that fitting in there? Because I hate them.
I'm not having no problem with it at all.
Really,
it's a fun.
I find that I'm taller than I think I am because like
you're about 6 foot.
6. I've been in a Mustang, like a new Mustang, and they're just like, I feel like I'm crumpled over. I feel like I just do not have enough room in there, and it's like my head is hitting everything.
The only thing that it's a little bit low. I don't think my head's not hitting everything. It is a little bit low, but it's. I mean, I like driving around it. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, regardless of that, yeah, man, it is a crazy time. We got a new Luigi. Burning down a warehouse.
They're calling him Paper Mario.
They're calling him
Paper Mario. I thought it was hilarious. Fucking Paper Mario.
That's better than that Mario movie, right?
I guess. I'm not watching it. Regardless, I don't know.
Silliness, man.
Who watches a movie? Who watch a movie? Bro, I've returned into the old ways. I'm walking more. I'm not driving when I don't have to. I'm pirating stuff again. I'm canceling all. I pirated the new Resident Evil last night. I played for like an hour. It's pretty good. Maybe when they drop it to $20, I'll throw Capcom a dub, but I'm not paying $60+ for that. It's just in this economy. No, I'm stealing. I'm stealing everything. If it's not bolted down, I'm stealing it. They're not buying stuff. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I will say I will recommend for your steal list perhaps the new Supergirl movie when it comes out, because the comic it's based off of is really good.
Excuse me. Sorry. I do subscribe to. That's on my last subscription. Is I do subscribe to HBO Max, and because I want to watch Deadwood, and when I get depressed. So I've been watching a lot of Deadwood lately.
You can
So
watch
I
it,
might just watch it.
right?
I might just watch a Supergirl movie on that.
Yeah, when it comes out, like
Yeah.
6 months, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, new Luigi just dropped. Worker who allegedly set fire to a California warehouse compares himself to Luigi Mangione. So, Robert, what do you know about the warehouse fire in Ontario?
I know that it was the big toilet paper company. I can't think of their name right now. Kimberly Clark. I keep wanting to say Johnson, but that's obviously not correct. But it's Kimberly Clark, and they, you know how they know they were wrong for that is that I mean the guy made a whole thing about being you didn't pay us enough to live, but that's okay because these Zippos are dirt cheap. How you know he was correct and not crazy, and they were wrong for that is their first public comment were like, oh, this isn't even our warehouse. This is run by a third party vendor. Like we don't have it because
it was a small business.
You down bad for that.
It was a small business. They're burning.
You know how you paying them people, and you know it's wrong. I have people at work. This is what I mean, but it's like this feels like the start of the new American Revolution. Like I don't want to say slow-mo because there's somebody burned down. There's a warehouse fire in Compton today. There's been a ton of these across Canada and across North America over the weekend. And so it feels like the start of Les Mis. But again, people aren't, at least people who aren't tuned in, like coworker, like the idea of your coworkers who listen to coworker music still just aren't getting it. Because I had a guy say, I could hear him say from a cubicle, up the block from me, he goes, man, that guy's dummy. Like he recorded himself doing that. They got him. And I'm like, bro, I don't think he cares. I think recording himself
away with it
was the point. Like he is checked out. Like he's not trying to get away with it. He's Kendrick Lamar, put the burner in his lap, walk myself to the court and tell the judge I did that, X-rated. Like that's what he's on. He ain't worried about the jury or the judge or none of that. He's on Hassan Campbell time. If you don't know who that is, that's a whole TikTok meme guy. But like, yeah, he's on Hassan Campbell time. He's not. He living somewhere else.
So I have an article up from the Guardian. We could go through it together if you like, just to kind of
do a
little bit of commentary on it as we go. But the worker is named Kamil Abdul Karim. He was charged with a felony and state arson accounts after allegedly destroying property worth $600 million.
Awesome.
And he's directly drawing the comparison to Luigi Mangione, which I mean,
my wife said he's hot. So my wife said he's hot. So, and she also said, I've noticed they haven't put his picture up because I guess they learned with Luigi not to do that. But,
they know
the streets are saying this is a handsome man.
But let's continue. An employee who allegedly burned down a California warehouse compared himself to Luigi Mangione in a message to coworkers after setting the fire. According to authorities in a Friday press conference, the Los Angeles Times reported, Kamil Abdul Rahman, 29, was charged with several counts of felony and state arson after a massive fire destroyed the Kimberly Clark paper products warehouse in Ontario, California, about an hour outside of LA. So this is like, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily LA metro area, but it's around LA where it ain't cheap to live.
No.
And so when he comes in, and we're going to get to that part, when he starts saying things like, all you had to do was pay us enough to live, he ain't joking. He's not joking.
No, none of us are joking. I mean, like I said, this guy is not, he's not doing this for fun, bro. This isn't like he is pushed to the limit. Like so many Americans are, and this is just a natural byproduct of we want to press gang people, and pay them less than it takes to live, and this is just what's going to happen. This is just garbage in, garbage out. Like, it's not surprising.
I'm not even saying do this because I don't even necessarily think it's a good idea. But what, like, my sense on the whole thing is that, like, people gonna do this stuff when they push to the limit. That's what my point is in a lot of this stuff too. You know what I mean?
No, that's exactly what it is. The people are just this is the natural byproduct of cap. We are in the late stages of late stage capitalism. This is it's barely a surprise. It's only people that are surprised about it are the people who aren't plugged into this stuff like we are. And it kind of drives me mad because it makes me feel like, I don't know, I feel like
you're the only person that's not insane.
Yeah, like I was gonna say I'm the only person, I'm the last human in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So like everybody else is a pod person.
Yeah.
And they look at me and they like scream the alarm. They're like, we've got a fleshoid. And I'm like, how do y'all not seeing this? It's or they live. It's like they live type stuff.
Yeah, but you got the glasses on. And
remember
in They Live, I mean, there was a really great scene from They Live when he tried to force the glasses on to Keith David.
Yeah.
And Keith David, what did he do? He fights him tooth and nail because he couldn't come to grips with the reality of what he would see when he put those glasses on. They Live's a great movie.
No, it's great. Have you ever read the short story, 8 o'clock in the morning?
No.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a quick read if you ever get bored and want to read it. But no, They Live's amazing. It's one of the movies I hope there's never, even though so much is left open, there never needs to be a sequel. Please God.
Never stop Roddy Piper.
No, and what's fine. It would be fine without Roddy Piper because Roddy Piper dies in the movie. So that's fine. God, what's his name? He has a really weird name.
I mean, like, what I mean,
just a remake?
If they did a remake of They
Nada,
Live,
that's his name. Nada.
Who would be better than Roddy Piper as the star? He's so perfect.
I mean, honestly, we're like, if we're gonna have fun time, like it's one of those things that doesn't need a movie remake. What it needs, and John Carpenter's about this, like because he dabbles with video games and stuff. It needs a sequel, a canon sequel video game.
Oh, okay.
That's what it needs. And it would be amazing. Like that, that'd be such a cool game because think about it, it's like I don't know, like you'd have like the Batman Detective Vision to where you would have the contacts because they don't have glasses anymore because the glasses are too obvious. So they have and so you have to like have your contacts in to see who's an alien or not, and then you can only wear them for so long because it makes your eyes hurt. It'd be a lot like the Thing video game. Come think about it, like John Carpenter's he's kind of like a paranoia guy. Like so many of his movies, like The Thing, Halloween, obviously, They Live. Like the main enemy is like paranoia. Like something's always about to just get you.
Escape from New York, and also the lesser, I guess, celebrated, but I think it's a great movie, The Escape from LA.
You like that movie? I hate
I did, because at the end of it, he shuts down the entire world.
Oh, I hate that movie. Maybe I need to watch it again. Damn.
I mean, maybe you hate it. I like that movie.
I saw it when I was a kid in theaters, and I was like, this is bad. As a kid whose dad raised him on John Carpenter.
It was very cheesy.
Like, ooh, yeah, but it was cheesy in a way that it was like it was looking at you and like winking, like, "Oh, isn't this bad?" To where
I like that stuff. I like that stuff.
I mean, Escape from New York is a B movie for sure, but like it never it takes itself seriously. It never like gives away the game.
No, Escape from LA is goofy. 100% is goofy. I just like that stuff. I like that goofy stuff. I'm not saying it's better than the original. I just like the movie.
No, I just don't even like it. I mean, I'll watch it again. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I haven't seen it in at least 20 years. So I'll watch it
Campbell,
again to give it
Bruce
another
Campbell's
try.
in that. Like Steve Buscemi is in
Yeah, I
that.
remember Steve Buscemi. And it was like a lot of homages. It was a lot of callbacks.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, why would we do this? Like, oh, you've seen Escape from New York, right? And then honestly, like a lot of people watching that movie had not. So you're doing all these homages and callbacks for like no reason.
It's very 90s. I'll just put it like
there
that.
you go.
It's
It is very 90s.
like self-referential and very, very sort of like that is like if you look at a movie like Pulp Fiction, right? All that movie is like a very basic crime story and like a million billion references. That's like all of every Tarantino movie, essentially.
Yeah, and that's my problem with Tarantino. He's never made an original thing in his life, which is fine. All art and culture is built upon you're standing on the shoulders of people of culture bearers and artists before you, but it's his idea that Tarantino acts like he invented sliced bread when all he did was just go to the bakery and just get the old. He went to the discount store and got the last good bread and said, "Isn't this good bread that I just made?" And I'm like, "It might be good bread, but dog, like all you did was just watch. You watched a bunch. You worked at Blockbuster. You watched a bunch of blaxploitation movies and said, I can do that too." And honestly, with Tarantino, we should have been hip to him because he's a disgusting mega Zionist, but we should have been hip to him when he thought it was like appropriate to throw around the N-word without context. Now, a white director or a white artist saying the N-word is not the issue. The issue was he was just doing it to do it. He just like, I can do this because I have enough cultural capital. Spike Lee was on to that guy. Spike Lee had him pegged. And everybody thought that Spike Lee was a woke scold, and he wasn't. He's like, this guy's not really talented. This guy's not talented. It's like the N-word isn't the issue. The issue is you're just saying it to saying it for no reason.
Not just that. He cast himself in Pulp Fiction and said the N-word himself like 58 times.
And he just was dying.
And it was supposed to be cool, I guess, because like in the movie his wife was black or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. He thought that would be that in that such a funny bit. Like, and I know Tarantino he just produced Reservoir Dogs, right?
No, he wrote Reservoir Dogs.
He wrote it? Okay. So the line where like I mean, I want to get into like inside the actor's studio here, go too deep into it. But the line where Steve Buscemi says the N-word and the line where Chris Penn says that too, like I've seen that movie at least a couple hundred times. I know the lines and they make contextual sense about what they're talking about at the time. But this like him just screaming out dead N-word storage over and over again. In Pulp Fiction was just, it was pointless and it was lame and it was hacky. It wasn't offensive. It was hacky.
Yeah.
And that's Tarantino in a nutshell. And it makes sense of why his politics are absolute garbage, because he's a weirdo foot fetishist who was like, I don't know, somehow thinks like Uma Thurman was his muse, and he's just nah. And he defends he was a Harvey Weinstein defender, a pedophile protector. Nah, man, that guy's old Hollywood. He's old new Hollywood, and all that needs to be wiped away. Gross.
And again, horrible Zionist. Probably
absolutely
everything. Horrible Zionist.
No, that guy's never been right. Sorry about it.
I mean, but I enjoyed some of his films, but whatever. I'm very aware that like Kill Bill is a ripoff of a samurai movie or a kung fu movie at the beginning, and then
Snowblood.
And then a ripoff of like a western in the second movie.
Yeah, which that's not the problem. The problem is acting like you're God's gift to cinema when you're doing that. Like
the auteur thing.
Is what it is. Yeah, it's like it's fine. I can think of 10 other movies that are just like homages to things that I like. Terminator 2.
Mhm.
Terminator 2 is like, it has so many homages to Westworld, not the HBO series, but the original movie with Yul Brynner. So many homages to Westworld, and that's fine. There's no problem with that.
No reference.
just-
Reference. Like everything is
Yeah.
referential, at least to some extent. I mean, no art is totally original, but like, yeah, what you're saying is right. Like it is. I mean, again, it's this sort of like '90s, very very '90s fad of like reference for the sake of reference and at the expense of story.
No, that's 100%.
Not-
That's
I mean,
what we were
there's-
going through. Like Swingers,
Mhm.
like in the 90s, just being
It was
like,
a-
oh, remember? But hey, do you remember NHL 95 on Sega Genesis? And it's like,
I do remember that. The game
the
was awesome.
90s, yeah, the 90s were I feel like the 90s did not have its own culture besides coffee house, global coffee house font.
Button your
and just-
fly.
Yeah, and that's I was trying to explain this. Man, we've really gone off topic the
That's okay. We
pop
can come
culture
back to
stuff,
it.
but it's fine. No, it's fine. I was trying to explain this at work, and we were talking about this same kind of thing because it's like a lot of millennials, like myself, and we're like, I was like, the kids are way more creative than us now. Like they're way like the things that are memes to them are like, at least they've come from like a cultural zeitgeist that's theirs. That's like, it's almost impossible to monetize. As dumb as we think Skibbity Toilet or Sung Sung, whatever his name is, Sung Sung Decor or
Italian brain rot crap.
Yeah, or 6-7 is, at least it came from like a thing that's not a commodity, a thing that's not trying to get them to buy something. Our cultural touchstones were all based around capitalism. And I told him, like, these kids, you laughing at these kids like, oh, 6-7's dumb. But I'm like, we were teenagers and young adults out here hollering about what's up and whatever crappy meme
Super
before
Bowl
we
ad.
even saw the meme that Budweiser or whatever company was trying to get us to buy stuff with, and we were repeating it like it was some kind of funny thing. Like, we're out here repeating commercials. So what are we talking about? I'm like, these kids are way more creative, and that's why capitalism's having such a hard time corralling them, because it's like, how do we monetize Italian brain rot? Like you said, like how do we do that? And if we try to do it, it comes off as, silence brand or hello fellow kids. So they kind of just have to give up on it. And a lot of that has to do with just like, honestly, it's worldwide internet access. It's just like, it's uncontrollable. Like to market to kids in a world now that's so inauthentic, you have, and I say kids, I mean the preferred demo of capital, which is the, what is it, 18 to 32 or whatever that demographic is. It's like, you have to be authentic, and you can't like put your brand too much of a stamp on that awesome authenticity. I know you're not on this side of social media or TikTok, but there's a trans girl who works at Staples who used to just make these, not used to, she still does. She makes these TikToks that are just like, hey, have you ever want to get your passport photos? Let me tell you how to do it. It's T, like, we'll make it, blah, blah, blah. And she's authentically talking about Staples and her job every day, to where the point where it's like, Staples, to their credit, has now brought her in, and they're not changing her format. They're just paying her now.
Just sponsoring her.
And they're paying her to just do what she already does, and not trying to turn her into, here's an old reference, the Snapple lady, which is completely inauthentic. So it's like,
which is what the 90s were.
Yeah, which what the 90s were. So you just have, like, if you want to market to people, you have to be authentic. I remember in a college class I took, a marketing class, and one of the things that always stuck with me is we did some research about Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, and how when the Pabst Blue Ribbon company found out that all these, like, hipsters our age, when we were, barely 21, were drinking Blue Ribbon, they hired they got the right one too, because anybody else would have driven their brand into the ground. They hired a consulting company to be like, how do we market to this? How do we take advantage of this? How do we get our market share up? Because these people are drinking it and like all on their own. And so they said, well, first of all, the consulting company said, don't touch it. Don't let it be what it is. If you're gonna sponsor things, if you're going to like have what you're gonna do is you're gonna sponsor a music festival.
Mm-hmm.
It nowhere is it gonna say it's sponsored by Pabst. It's gonna serve Pabst exclusively. It's just gonna be the Good Morning Comrade Music Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So, because as soon as you start trying to inject your brand into this like organic like brand loyalty, you're gonna kill it.
Mm-hmm.
They were right. They were 100% right, and that's just one of the things about like marketing that always kind of stuck with me was that one class where we studied that, and I'm like, man, that's so genius.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, brands do understand that, but even influencers now are seen as inauthentic. It's to the point where
Costco guys, like the Costco guys.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's to the point where influencers are so out that you've got kids out here de-influencing. And what they're doing is they're going into stores or they're going to brands. They're going to like, let's say a Costco, for instance, since you brought it up, and saying why they shouldn't shop at Costco because of this labor practice or that thing or this thing. And then other companies that actually, fit their values will approach them and say, hey, we will now give you money to actually promote our stuff. And then the kids are listening to that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I remember when I was a salesman, that was my like go-to of, I would say, okay, you want to buy, I sold TVs. So I'd say, okay, you want to buy a TV? And I would say, here's the top of the line thing. It does A, B, C, D. Do you need all that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that interesting to you? And most of the time, they would look at the price and they'd say, no. I say good because I don't want that. I wouldn't have. Let me show you what I got in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would do.
Yeah, totally. I was funny because I was watching. So there's a streamer on Twitch. Shout out to Midnight Sumo.
Yeah, I like Midnight.
He would watch the sumo like tournament that was happening most recently in beginning of March, and I thought this was actually very funny. Like sometimes they would have like breaks in the action on the sumo or whatever, and he would just like find some like relic from the 90s to just run. And for several nights during the last Basho, he would run those old Joey Suzu commercials. You remember that?
Yeah.
And the guy was like he was a congenital liar trying to sell like Suzus or whatever. And that was like the weird like reverse marketing practice. I don't know why, but that hit like a real weird 90s deep spot in my like brain. That's, you know what I mean? Like weird commercial nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, there is that.
90s marketing is insane, bro.
That's where it really was. But did it make you want to buy stuff though?
No, like Isuzu's out of business now.
Yeah.
How many Isuzus? I mean, you'd see them here every now and then, and I actually liked back when they had small pickup trucks, which they don't have anymore. I'm kind of nostalgic for those things because those were kind of cool, and they're gone now because everything's huge. But like, no, I don't think that was moving a Isuzu.
That's a good question though, because I don't know, because we weren't even old enough to be in that position to make big dollar purchases. So
yeah,
it had to have worked on somebody.
It trades with like Gen Xers and pre-Gen Xers,
Yeah, it had to have worked on somebody. Mine is always, my grandmother used to buy that Viennetta like ice cream cake, and they used to like promote that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they used to promote that like you were eating it with the Queen of England. Yeah. And my grandmother was like, "Oh, that's fancy. I gotta buy it." So it definitely worked on somebody.
Have you ever seen them make the Viennetta like in the factory
No,
too?
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It looks crazy because it's made on like industrial machines, just like making those little designs or whatever in it.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I know you lying. That's
You're
crazy.
listening to WHIVLP New Orleans 102.3. This is your weekly Good Morning Comrade. But yeah, no, like if you look at it, like it was just basically like giant blocks cut out and just placed into the thing with all those like squiggles or whatever all over it for the Viennetta.
That's crazy. That stuff was weird. But no, we were talking about New American Revolution and people burning down the workplaces. So maybe
yeah,
we
got off topic, but that's okay.
That's
what we do
right.
here on Good Morning Comrade.
It happens.
So just to kind of circle back, so the warehouse broke out at 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday, with police arresting Abdul Karim shortly after. The fire quickly progressed into a 6-alarm blaze, and if you saw pictures of this stuff, it looked like insane hellfire. About 175 firefighters responding to the emergency. The blaze resulted in more than $600 million in damage, with $500 million in paper products destroyed, as well as the $150 million warehouse. So, old boy is going to jail, but he definitely took his pound of flesh.
Yeah, he got him. I mean, I don't know much about this, but I don't know much about this, but people are saying that like, oh, the insurance isn't even going to cover this, but they could be just talking out of their neck. I'm quick to say that because like they said, the insurance company is going to fight this tooth and nail to try to pay them out. But I mean, we'll see. But he definitely he has lit a fire, pun intended, under the American psyche. And like I said, there have been I'm at least close to 10 just over the weekend, and one fire going on right now as we speak in Compton, California, that are all copycats of this. And it's not because people are crazy, it's because people aren't getting paid enough to live.
Yeah. You know what I find interesting about this next part? So fire investigators told Abdul Karim texted a coworker after the blaze, comparing himself to the 27-year-old Luigi Mangione, who was facing charges of murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December 2024. Now, maybe this is referencing another article, but I would expect if you were doing real journalism here that wasn't propaganda to see a screenshot of that text, right? And like you mentioned earlier as well, like remember when Luigi happened? You had pictures of Luigi everywhere with his little pouty face and looking all handsome or whatever. This dude is witness protection program. You know, they locked him up and they made sure not to take a single picture of him.
Yeah, because they know they don't want to. That just shows you what I've always said. What's the Good Morning Comrade doctrine? America only cares when you mess with capital or you mess with labor. This guy's messed with both. And so, yeah, he is now public enemy number one, and they don't want to make the same mistake. They thought with Luigi that the populace would criminalize, like they would demonize him, and we have deified him, and they don't want to they're finally on game to where oh, the majority of people who watch this trash are actually working poor who also either hate insurance companies or don't make enough to live. And therefore we need to keep this as quiet as possible. That's why you haven't heard anything about unless you're out there looking for it, for like the 10 other fires that have taken place over the weekend.
Yeah. Get a load of this. Look, is the quote from the United States attorney. Quote, look, America is founded on free enterprise and capitalism, said Bill Asaley, first assistant United States attorney for the Central District of California. Anyone who attacks our values or way of life, our system, which provides the best goods and services to most people, we're going to come after aggressively. So, like, this dude is basically saying that this guy who was very obviously getting effed over at work, by burning down this thing is essentially attacking all of America by attacking capital, by burning down one warehouse, and you know there's a lot of people that are out of the job because of this, and that's not great. But like he's saying that you're attacking America. He's trying to almost make it sound like he's a terrorist. You know what I mean? That's how you talk about 9/11 and how you talk about like when you want to extrajudicially just sort of like drone strike somebody or assassinate whoever.
Oh, it's worse than 9/11 because again, when you mess with Capitol, that is the number one sin that will raise all alarms, and that they don't want this thing to spread, but it already has, is America's worst nightmare. Like I said, many people have said this smarter than me. The fall of American empire will not be from without; it will be from within. I just add on the opinion of is it can't come soon enough.
Look, America. Oh, I'm sorry. No, police said that Friday that the video footage posted on social media also shows Abdul Karim setting fire. Why is the video not here? Of Abdul Karim setting fire to toilet paper and other combustibles in the warehouse. In the same video, the individual is heard saying he does not make enough money to live on. And if you watch the video and you see what he's doing, he's like literally. He sounds kind of crushed. He sounds kind of heartbroken. And basically this is again the sort of, and this is me characterizing it, so feel free to disagree with me or whatever, but like that was the sense that I got. Other small fires were seen burning in the background of the building, and then a co-worker told this news station KABC that Abdul Karim was not initially a suspect in the arson. Quote, there's no suspicions that it was him, especially actually he was missing, so everyone was trying to find him. Everyone was blaming the robots at first.
Whoa, robots!
Yeah, we're almost 100% sure it was.
You're kind of right.
Yeah, we're just slipping that one in there. We were almost 100% sure it was the robots until the action in the video, of course, said Alex Montero, a resident of San Bernardino. Abdul Karim faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted, with state charges set to be ruled on first. So, robots. Clankers in the plot.
I mean,
the plot thickens.
It's not wrong. I mean, the robots didn't start the fire, but we can't rule out the robots being the cause of a human being setting the fire, plus not getting paid enough to live. I mean, the man said it right there. So, but yeah, pretty bad. We were having a talk early before we started, and you said something. I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't want to stand on it, but you did say something about it being performative.
Oh no, I never said performative. I said it. Here's what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is that people who do have a political agenda are going to go out there and sort of say, I'm doing praxis and like whatever. So I'm actually less critical of this guy, but I am critical of like organized, like organizations, like essentially doing similar copycat things like this and essentially getting that smoke put on them. If you're coordinating terrorism, essentially, you're not going to help the movement, is what I'm trying to say. It's not. It's. I think it's a bad approach.
But so that's your thing. I don't think it matters. I think my thing is that if you're crossing that fear barrier, I don't think you care about how this is going to look. They're crossing a fear barrier, and like I started the show with, they have checked out. No, this is unacceptable. I'd rather live my life in a cage. I just had this whole thing about this kind of issue just this weekend. But it's like the point I'm trying to make is the people, if you are crossing the fear barrier to do this, you are signaling, I'd rather live my life, the rest of my life, in a cage than live in this society anymore. That's how bad it is. So you're not really gonna like talk somebody down from that without changing the material condition. We had a guy get murdered last week here in New Orleans. All my friends knew him. I've met him, but I'm not gonna say I knew him. But all my friends knew him. He was the greatest guy ever. And I had this, people online were saying, well, there was some racist dog whistles because he was killed by like a black dude, but he was trying to shoot. It was a white dude. He got shot in the head and murdered. But the guy who shot him didn't mean to kill him. He was trying to kill somebody else. And he literally caught a stray. I'm not trying to be funny. But the people are like, oh, people are just, raised in this city to not value human life. And I'm like, time out. I'm like, hold up. I was like, no children are raised differently. The point I'm trying to make is nobody says I'm going to try to go kill another human being because of beef we have out here in the street if they think that living life in a cage isn't at least equal to the life that they're living out here.
They already feel like they're in jail.
Right. People who have things to look forward to, have things to dream about, have a decent job that pays them a decent wage to check into. They can go home to they drive their decent car to home to their decent house and watch their bad TV are not going to be doing this. Mm-hmm. They're just people, human beings in their nature are lazy. We are here to do two things. What is the point of life? What is the meaning of life? Two things: consume calories and reproduce. Mm-hmm. That's it. So
and find joy in their life, like do whatever the hell you want.
And those things bring people joy. But it's like if you're deciding to do that kind of stuff, that stuff takes effort. Mm-hmm. When I say that stuff, to do crime, to kill somebody, to burn down a warehouse where you work at, that takes school shooters. That takes effort. People are not naturally drawn to effort. People are drawn to the straightest and shortest point between where they are and where they want to be. But when you break that line and they can't see where they want to be as a realistic possibility, now they will check out on life and do something like this.
Yep.
It's really not that complicated.
No. And you know what's also very interesting, I think I noticed, I brought up the comparison of school shooters. When you see, a U.S. attorney, first off, most of the time when there's a school shooting, you don't see a U.S. attorney. You see like a local DA or something like that. But you're not going to talk about how it's an attack on American values. Attack on Capitol is an attack on American values.
Yes.
Attack on children in a school, well, that's just one sad, sorry individual who, was alienated and they were a lone wolf, which is like, that is, I think that's a really important distinction to make. If you're going to talk about, burning literally a warehouse full of toilet paper and the warehouse itself, and sadly, a lot of people are going to be out of a job, and that's really bad for them. But $650 million of material and product, or what was destroyed, that's apparently more of an attack on human values than the murder of children while they're trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a really important line to sort of like draw, that again, attack on school is not an attack on American values, but attack on Capitol is explicitly an attack on Capitol is in rejection of the economic and social system that's in place.
Yep. And you see this so obvious. You deal with this in your line of work. Is like one of the few things I saw about the warehouse fire is they found a guy who was just like, who works at that warehouse, and he's like, I don't know why he did that. I make enough money. I don't understand. Like blah blah blah. He's like, man, that guy was crazy, and that's how they found a guy who they could try to turn worker against worker.
Yep.
And then instead of having solidarity, well, you come to find out this guy that they interviewed, yeah, he worked for the company, but he was a truck driver. He didn't work inside the factory, inside the modern day cotton field, picking and packing. So he made a little bit more money actually a lot more money, but he made enough money to live as a trucker. Then this guy wasn't making enough money to live. But that's how they'll do us. They'll try to pit worker against worker. Any kind of solidarity we have as the working class, they'll try to break that up and just try to turn us against each other. I know you deal with that like all the time.
It's literally what it's not even just the individual bosses and managers that do that. It's every single structure. I mean, when you see a dispute, for example, a labor dispute that makes, the news or whatever it is, corporations and the companies are always framed as like imminently reasonable, and the reason for whatever labor disturbance or strike is happening is because the workers won't take the deal that management is giving them, which the workers are democratically rejecting. And this is something that happens while these companies, these corporations especially, make billions of dollars in profit. Right now, the wealthiest people in this world, like inequality in this country, has gotten worse and worse and worse, to the point that we're beyond the era of like the Gilded Age in the early 1920s. We're like orders of magnitude beyond that. Like the idea of a billionaire, you have to be an absolute psychopath to even want to be a billionaire, because what a billionaire is somebody that has all of everything, more than anything that you can ever possibly need or want. You just want to make sure that you have it all at the expense of everybody else. That is, I mean, if you ask me, that is much more of a threat against even American values, like these values of capitalism. That's not in the Constitution even. I'm not even saying the Constitution is a great document or anything like that. Where does it say capitalism in the Constitution?
Well, actually, it says the exact opposite. It says the government shall provide for the general welfare of the population.
Yeah, of, for, and by the people, and all this other stuff. And I'm not like trying to be like Mr. Constitution guy, Rand Paul or whatever. That's not my point. Yeah. But like even the values that are put forward by like these original American documents, and then you got this district attorney, or this U.S. attorney, I should say, assistant U.S. attorney, coming out and saying, "Well, this is an attack on American values by burning down a warehouse." That's not the case. Like America, like literally, God, I'm getting all American. Like literally, one of the things that was like a major step towards the American Revolution was a attack on Capitol, the Boston Tea Party. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we hired, what is this country good at? Hiring goons and thugs, like the Pinkertons, and the police are on the same side that to murder union organizers and any kind of solidarity that workers try to have together. And then when we can't unionize, I mean, you're seeing it right now. When people can't unionize for a better labor conditions, eventually someone's going to cross that fear barrier and they're going to burn down a warehouse. They're going to burn down multiple warehouses. They're going to burn down all of Capitol. And I've said this a million times, their bet, the Sam Altmans, the CEOs, the Bezoses, the Musk, their bet is, that's why they're building these bunkers to try to live in, which ain't going to work either, because in this scenario, they're building a bunker for, like, who's going to protect them when money is worthless? Like, it's not going to matter.
They have to eat the gold in the vault, right?
Yeah, but they think that they can build walls higher than the poor can climb. And I will take that bet that they can't, because we're seeing it now in action, 100%.
And I like what you mentioned also just a moment ago when you said that we are getting to a moment, because, I mean, again, the path out of this would have been better working conditions, possibly a union. And I would even say that a better outlet for what this guy's, anger would have been to come together collectively with the coworkers to fight for it. But when, management fights against that, and when you foreclose on even the idea of possibility, and this person seems to have done that, then they're going to do some crazy stuff. You mentioned a long time ago on this show, back when back in the quaint old days, before even the 2020 election, that like we had a choice to go down the social democratic Bernie Sanders route, or the, oh wow, we're going down the road to lighting stuff on fire, and it's not even necessarily what we want. But we're not dumb, and we can see that if we don't get these sort of like these social democratic reforms, we'll take those all day long. But if we don't get them, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get the pitchforks, and we're going to get the torches, and we're going to get all the things that we're currently starting to see. And again, the ruling class is essentially saying, "Bet, let's go. Say less. Let's fight it out."
I mean, yeah, exactly. I think my words were exactly.
I don't want to mischaracterize what you said.
No, if I remember correctly, I think my words were, Bernie Sanders and social democracy is the thing that the best thing that capitalists could get. It's the thing that will keep capitalism going. Mm-hmm. They should be wanting this. They should be Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg should have been actively funding Bernie Sanders' campaign. It's because it's going to fall apart if it keeps going in the rate that it's going. Obviously, we're seeing it all around us. I'm not a crazy commie. Like we're literally seeing it every day. And if you're not seeing it, it's because you're just tuning it out.
Fingers in your ears.
Yeah, you're sticking fingers in your ears. But without, I mean, social Bernie Sanders campaign, as much as we're kind of like, I was a delegate for Bernie. I like Bernie, but still I'm like, whatever. I don't care. He really doesn't do it for me. I'm way to the left of him. But if you see it with these millionaires saying that, it's very few voices, but they are out there. And Abigail Disney is the first person I can think of. All these other billionaires and millionaires saying, tax me more. We need social programs now. It's getting scary out here. Mm-hmm. I do not want to live through a new French Revolution. Mm-hmm. Please make this stop. The poors are restless. And people, the majority of people with money and capital and access to privilege are just saying, nah, we've got enough guns. We can build walls higher than the poor can climb. They can't do anything to us. And I'm telling you, I would not take that bet. Mm-hmm. I would not sign up for that.
And the liberals, by the way, in this moment also are digging in their heels. And they're essentially saying, well, you know what? The reason that this is happening is because you want any change at all in the first place. So they're essentially saying that the beatings will continue until morale improves. So they're essentially showing their own solidarity with the hard right of the country, even though they're trying to make distinctions in these sort of like very stupid, meaningless ways. Like, when it comes to the war in Iran, like Chuck Schumer, who loves going to war with Iran and all these other things, is like, well, you gotta worry about this process, or the way that he's holding out the war is very like irresponsible and he doesn't know what he's doing or whatever. But you don't see him or any Democrats really, other than like a select few who we talk about in this show way too much, like making a case against the war. Like I remember even a couple of months ago, and the reason I bring up the war is, again, you mentioned the Strait of Hormuz a bit ago. Like, last bit of oil is going out of there. That means that we have the wages that have been depressed since the 1970s. And we're about to see rising fuel costs, which means the cost of everything is going up. So we're going to have a really volatile situation on our hands in the United States. And, the Democrats can't even make a case against this war. They can't even stop. They can't even make an argument for the status quo, which is what they usually do.
Because their bet is always what it has been, is that we know that the Republicans can't govern, and we will let them run the country into the ground, and we'll be your only option, and you'll just have to vote for us. But like, I'm watching, what is it, Harry Hinton or whatever from
Holy
Toledo. He's like, boy, it's like the midterms might be, a Republican thumping.
But the Democrats are less popular than the Republicans.
Yeah, he's like, nobody likes these Democrats either. And I'm like, yeah, of course they don't, because it's the same team, bruh. Same team. Harlem Globetrotters, Washington Generals. Like, everybody's hip to it. Everybody. The dumbest guy at your work. The dumbest Trump guy who's like, no, I'd say the dumbest Republican. The dumbest Trump guy is in a cult. but the dumbest, like,
cattle.
kind of 2000s era Republican will tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sick of all of them." It's like, bro, everybody's hip to this.
You got Ezra Klein writing articles defending Hassan Piker.
Thank you. That.
We almost made it to the end of the show without mentioning that guy, but like seriously, like the fact that you are having U.S. senators, like, while Donald Trump is like, oh, we'll glass Iran in primetime television on Wednesday night or whatever, and in the meantime, you got Alyssa Slotkin, a senator, being like, here's why I won't go on Hassan Piker's stream.
Oh,
it's like, what the hell, dude?
Lame. It's so lame, and it's like, it's just how much, because they think their position is so good with this war going on, and so they feel like, again, they can alienate the very people they need to vote for them in mass, and it's not going to work again. It's not going to work. We're just going to get Turbo Trump. We're going to get Tucker Carlson. We're going to, or he's going to be the kingmaker and decide, whoever he backs. We're just going to get this over and over again until either the United States destroys itself, literally just burns to the ground, and we just get a chance to start over, or the left actually take over the Democratic Party, which at this point, to be honest, I mean, we do a political show and I want to have revolutionary optimism. You're making me put a marker down on one of those two horses. It's America destroying itself internally, and then we're all just back into a pre-industrial age, those of us who live, and we all just try to start over before the Democrats concede power to the left wing. Sorry, that's where I'm at.
The Democrats would rather see it burn, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what it is. I think
find a way. And again, like, I am a revolutionary optimist thing. I do think that you're probably right. If all things remain the same, that the bad thing is the most likely to happen. I just feel like the good thing has a 0% chance of happening if we don't fight for it. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So you gotta just kind of keep plugging away. We do have to get out of here, but before we go, Robert, what do you want to tell the people about the Lumencast?
Every Wednesday I do a stream on this space on YouTube. Lumencast. It's more of this. So if you want more of this, that's where I'll be. Other than that, I've been pretty quiet because I said I don't have a lot of bandwidth to be doing a lot of creative stuff. I'm just trying to live as cheaply as possible and trying to survive what's coming. And I suggest everybody else do the same.
Yeah, totally. And so thank you everybody for listening. This has been your weekly Good Morning Comrade. You can check us out every Saturday on WHIV 102.3, 10 a.m. You can also check us out online. All the stuff is either Good Morning Comrade or Comrade Morning. Just go to goodmorningcomrade.com and you can find us there. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. Bye-bye. This is WHIV LP New Orleans.
Take care. Bye-bye.